When we take a look at how much the world has progressed in the past century, it makes sense that humans should be happier than ever, but we know it's not the case. This modern lifestyle made us become anxious overthinkers, worrying about the future instead of just letting the path of life take us where we were meant to go. My name is Pat. I've struggled with depression for 7 months and I managed to escape it. Since then, I've collected years worth of research and experiences you could benefit from. So if you're willing to put your trust in me, I will show you some simple tips I use in my everyday life to get rid of my overthinking. Make the video full screen right now and give it your full attention. I'm gonna start by the best tip I can give you to stop overthinking, and it's pretty much the only one. And it's pretty harsh, but I think you're ready for it. You're overthinking because you're just not taking action. The question you should be asking yourself is, that thing you're overthinking about, can you do something about it? If no, then why are you thinking about it if you can't change it? And if yes, it's the same thing. Why are you thinking about it? If you can't change it, why don't you do it? Overthinking most of the time is just procrastination. You have an action to make, a decision to make, and you're just not taking it. And that is why you're stressed, anxious, overthinking. It's a pressure that you put yourself into just because you're not taking action. I'm sorry to be harsh. Sometimes you gotta hear the reality. Maybe your situation is special and it's not actually procrastinating. And if so, I'm gonna tell you some more stuff later. But most of you guys, you're just procrastinating. That is why you're overthinking. Me too, when I overthink, I try to procrastinate, but I have a step-by-step plan to make me take action, and after 10 minutes, it's over. So let's say I'm at school, I see my crush and I really want to speak to her, but I'm way too shy for that. I come home and I'm overthinking about everything. I want to speak to her, but it's gonna be, she's probably gonna reject me, it's gonna be weird, like people are gonna make fun of me and stuff like that. So I grab my journal and I write that thought. What am I overthinking about right now? I'm overthinking about approaching my crush and talking to her. And now I separate the journal into two parts. The first part is me talking about the advantages and inconveniences of approaching my dream girl and talking to her. And the other part is me not going to talk to her, inconveniences and advantages. And that is very important. I give myself a 10-minute time limit. After 10 minutes, the decision should be made. I shouldn't be thinking about it ever anymore. So let's say after 10 minutes, I've wrote everything out and I saw by logic, because when you write, it makes you choose by logic instead of emotions. Because you know how emotions can be dangerous sometimes. Let's say you're at the mall and there is this like pair of pants with holes on them. I will never understand why people wear that. If you wear that, I think you're weird personally. Why would you buy a pair of pants that is new and that already has holes in it? I'll never understand, but that's another point. So yeah, you buy this pair of pants with holes that is new for $300. Logically, that is very, very dumb to do, right? That is very illogical because it's an emotion purchase. So you understand, emotions sometimes makes us do not really the thing that's the most intelligent. It mostly does the thing we want. And in that situation of approaching my crush, honestly, if I wouldn't journal, I probably will never go talk to her. It's the easy thing to do. There's no risk of embarrassing myself, people watching me come talk to her and start laughing and stuff like that. There's no risk and it's easy, it's your comfort zone. But as you know, you gotta step out of the comfort zone sometime. That is what's logic. Everyone knows that. And if you would journal about it, you'll do it. But you don't journal about it, so you choose the easiest way, which is the emotional way. So after 10 minutes, I've made the decision. And now I gotta go and talk to her as quick as possible. Because the longer I don't talk to her, the longer I'm gonna keep overthinking about it, keep trying to change the decision because I've chosen to do the hard stuff, which is to go talk to her because that is what makes sense, right? I send her a text directly and then I'm all stressed out and stuff. I wait till her response and then she's either gonna respond yes or no. Even if she responds no and you're kind of broken and embarrassed, you're actually still gonna feel better than if you would have just not done it and you will still be overthinking about it. You understand? You overthink because you're not taking the action. Even if you take the action and it turns out in a negative way, you're still at a better spot than before when you were just not taking the action. That is super powerful. So the worst case scenario is still better than your situation right now. So all you gotta do is open your journal, set a 10-minute timer on your phone, and you take action as quickly as possible. And even if it's negative, you're gonna feel better than before. And if it's positive, well, you're gonna feel amazing and you're gonna be proud of yourself for finally taking action. Now, for those who have a good reason to overthink that is not procrastination, I have a really good thing for you. I've actually used it like a few days ago. It's pretty personal, but I received like terrible news about one of my family members, about his health, and I was overthinking, like stressing out, like what's gonna happen. My family member fell, broke her hip, and she's pretty old, so it's more dangerous at that age. She went to the hospital, and the surgery was pretty dangerous because she was dehydrated. So either the surgery was gonna go well, and then she will be fine, or either she was not gonna be fine and she probably die. Don't cry for me in the comments, I'm good now. But I was overthinking, like this night maybe I'm gonna lose a family member and stuff. And in these moments, you're not procrastinating, right? So the thing I always do is a habit called deep breathing. And I don't know if you're familiar with meditation. I am very familiar with it. Meditation changed my life, okay? I was depressed for 7 months, and meditation made me feel happier than ever in only 2 weeks. Deep breathing, this exercise, has been found by studies to be even more efficient than meditation. So believe me when I say it is very powerful, and every time, especially in that moment where I was overthinking without procrastinating, it helped me a lot. So you do a big breath, and then when you're like full of air, you sneak a little bit more like this, and then you exhale very slowly for like a good 20 seconds. I'm sure you've never done that, like doing like 2 inhales, and this is what makes the exercise very good. It is still incredibly good for your stress and your anxiousness. It takes you 30 minutes for one, 30 seconds for one. So if you do 10, it's gonna take you 5 minutes. It's not that long. And yet, when you're gonna need it the most, it's gonna feel very, very nice. And also, when you're overthinking without procrastinating, there's just all the other mental health habits like meditation, going in nature, gratitude journaling, or just journaling in general. Just writing your thoughts is very powerful. Meditation, when I started meditation, I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. It's pretty boring. You know, you sit down, they tell you to sit, and then for like 10 minutes. When I meditate, I always lay down, like on my bed or on the ground, which is pretty cool too. I have a pillow for my head and my arms are next to my body. Pretty much nobody does that one with meditation. Everybody sits down. But when you're laying down, I'm telling you, it's what made me actually start to enjoy meditation. I've been meditating for 10 minutes every single day for a very long time because of that, because it's actually enjoyable. So these are some tips I had at the top of my head for overthinking. I am telling you that it's gonna significantly reduce the amount of time you overthink. I said that word a lot of time in the video. The stress, the pressure, the anxiousness that comes with not taking action, not taking the decision you should be taking. And that should get you some very, very good results. I want to help you go further than just stopping to overthink. The first link in the description is my online program in which you will be given all the knowledge I know and personal help from me. I truly hope you have found value in this video. If so, tell me in the comments. It's not even an algorithm thing. I just want to see people appreciate my work. If you do want to help the algorithm, then you can leave a comment, a like, you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.